let's do this. Alright, we're live. Let's see, we are working on GitHub. GitHub and Savvy. I don't actually work for GitHub. Let's see. Let's stands today. Today feels like a standing day. All right. We got to figure out how to get notifications to come through so I can actually hear them. Yeah, that's a time for another time. That's a task for another time. Man, I'm tired. Alright. We left this broken. That's okay though. We were in the middle of moving all of our memory storage into its own module. And let's look at those errors again really quick. Right now our errors seem to be stemming from the MLI file for Savvy. It's all implementation stuff. Module storage unit is required but not provided. So let's take a look at auth. This is where we did our work last time. Let's pop down here. We updated the storage unit value, or the module type. Oh, good morning, boot for dev. I'm back at it. Yeah, last time we updated the storage unit, and we added a functor to build memory storage things, like a module for memory storage stuff. Because the big value that we got here was by being able to pass in a value type, we can configure our storage to accept different kinds of things. So for GitHub, we just need like the config. For regular generic auth, we need to be able to pass in a PXE verifier and a config, or we need to be able to store a PXE verifier and a config. Essentially, the storage stuff is just useful for this sort of two request flows. It's like authorization code where you have to make a request out to an authorization server, and then you need to be able to store some piece of information until the authorization server redirects the user agent back to your app. So that would constitute a second request, a second route. And so it needs to be able to get that stuff because it needs to be able to verify the values that were given or used or passed or what have you in the first route. All right, so we've got stuff changed here to where now we're passing in value type and a TTL. That's super nice to just be able to configure those things here. We have in-memory storage type. We're still creating sort of the struct here. I think I probably could have just reused. I probably could have just exposed this one. That way this could just be generic in-memory storage. Because I don't think we use this in here at all. Yeah, it's just these three. Okay. So, let's see. In-memory storage. Let's call this generic in-memory storage. And then let's go to our OAuth MLI file. The MLI file is the file that determines what can be seen. It's sort of the public-private interface for OCaml. Anything that I put in the MLI file is, if there's no MLI file, everything's public, and everything inside my module, my ML file, is accessible by any other file that's referencing it. But if I have an MLI file, then it only gives access to outside modules to the things which I define in the MLI file. Alright, so this is generic in-memory storage now. And then I should be able to grab that, and if I go back to main, I think I can just... Oh, it only replaces this. I think I can put it here. Unbound module. What, really? Oh, I've already called this generic in-memory storage. Just call this simple for now. No. Okay. Oh, actually, much easier to call this something else. Unbound module. Oh, shucks, let's just call it something else. Default. Default in-memory storage will work. So we come here, we put this here, we do auth2 client dot. Why is it not recognized? Oh, we've got a build. Now we've got lots of errors. Hello? How did it work when I misspelled build? Alright, unbound module in memory storage. Wait, what? Oh, it's in Savvy. Oh, right. I have to update Savvy's MLI file too. So it's got this, which needs to be default in memory storage. Modules do not match. And is not included in the signature type value TTL float. Value TTL is required but not provided. What are you talking about? Value should be provided in there. Oh, it's going to do default in memory storage. Why is that? Right, your default in memory storage struct type value let TTL. Type value let TTL. That's the exact same thing. Default memory storage. We've got our default memory storage. Default memory storage is storing unit with type value equals config. Cool. Maybe I just delete it. I don't even really need it. It's not like useful. Just get rid of it altogether and just let main handle it. I really liked just being able to pass though. I really wanted to get rid of this and just have these two. Modules do not match. Make in memory storage. What does it think this is? Oh, there's no, let's go to storage unit. Type value storage unit has T value. Oh, storage unit doesn't have TTL in it. Oh, okay, okay. Oh, that's because I don't want it to always have TTL in it, though. Okay, we might just keep it this way then. It might just be easier. Yeah, okay. I mean, I wanted to get rid of that, but the TTL is not going to be in every single one. Well, isn't it? Oh, it's so early. I guess TTL does always need to exist, right? We would not want, say that we're using some longer-lived storage mechanism, right? Say we're using Postgres. We still wouldn't want authorization codes that haven't been used to live forever in your database, because the database will just balloon infinitely. I mean, assuming you have a sufficiently large set of users. So TTL is probably always still important. I wonder if I could just add a TTL to the storage mechanism or storage unit. If I come back here, then we could have like val TTL, which is a float. So it's required in here, which that's fine, you know, it is what it is. TTL. So we just need to pass it here, right? So then we'd need let TTL equals TTL, unbound value TTL, oh, v.ttl. Oh, goodness. There we go. All right, so this would require TTL in the storage unit type. All of our storage mechanisms want to be sure that old data is cleared out eventually. So our time to live, that puts it in here. So then our default in-memory storage here makes sense. So then we can go to here. We can make sure that this is returning default in-memory storage. Yeah, it has both of those things, which is this. And so then we can come back to main, and now we need to rebuild because this is using that. Okay, now we're, oh wait, no, this is still modules don't match. Why does this not match? Oh, I bet you I didn't update it in the MLI. So we go to our MLI, pop back down. Storage unit needs that TTL now. In this unit, you know. Sval TTL, which is a float. So now if I go to main, modules still don't match. Oh, it still needs to build. Okay. Excuse me. Now we've got different errors. Love that. Errors are great. Let TTL. What is this one? Unused type value. Let TTL. Unused value TTL. Ah, okay. So we got some unused stuff in main now, which is good. We wanted that because we wanted to be able to just ditch this. Excuse me. wanted to be able to ditch that. Because we know the default is going to be built for generic OAuth 2. Here, we're going to keep this block because for GitHub, we want to use a specific GitHub struct. Actually, we could probably put this in GitHub. We could put this in GitHub, and we could just do GitHub.default in memory storage. Yeah, let's do that. So let's go to GitHub. Let's just move all this stuff out of here to where it's nice and safe and cozy. It took all the storage out because we're going to move all that to a module. So yeah, let's grab this. GitHub OAuth data. Let's call this GitHub in-memory storage. This just needs to be config because it's gonna be that one. So we've got this now. Now if we go back to main, we should be able to do actually I shouldn't call it GitHub, right? I should call it default. Sorry, bit of a cough today. Default memory storage. So let's actually, let's get rid of that stuff. Let's grab this name again. Let's go back to GitHub. Oh, we gotta change the update, or we gotta update the MLI file too. Okay, so we got this. So let's go to github.mli. We're gonna put this right here. Come on. How do we shape this in here? Oh, we just do it like this. Storage unit. Oh, shucks. I don't have access to the storage unit here. Because we haven't moved storage unit to its own module yet. Yeah. Okay. Maybe we need to do that today. Gotta be careful. We're pulling on so many little strings and there's so many little rabbit holes, and I just don't want us to get so far down that we can't figure out how to get back up. But I'm a real good digger. So here we go. Let's come back to here. We've got that in there. That's fine. We need to create a new directory. I think we just put it here. Storage. And then let's just make storage.ml here. Let's go to OAuth. Let's grab our stuff. Where are you at, storage? Here we are, storage unit. Let's leave it here just in case I break everything. I'm real good at breaking everything too. What is that? No config file found. Oh yeah, of course. Of course. Actually, let's just let's go to GitHub Dune. Come back here. Create this file. We're going to call this one storage. I know, real clever naming today. I don't need almost any of this stuff. Actually, I don't know that I need any of them. But that's fine. It's fine for now. It's fine. What are you doing? Alright. build. All right, we're down to just a couple errors now. Just the angry errors. Love it. This is still upset. Actually, why is this one's upset? Oh, right. That's what we're fixing right now. That's what we're fixing. All right, so go back to storage. Everything's hunky-dory over here. It's got all the stuff. Everything's anonymous and amorphous. Love that. If we go back to auth, can we just disappear that and do something like storage? Oh, we've got to we gotta put storage in here. Man, I gotta alphabetize these. Holy cow. No time like the present. This is one of the things that gets me in trouble at work way too often, is I always like to alphabetize, and then people review my MRs and tell me that they wish I hadn't done that with all these other code changes. I'm just like, I see a problem, I fix it. I don't know. But then they're like, oh, it obscures all the actual code you put in. I mean, they're probably right, but you know, what are you gonna do? All right. All right, there we go. So that's done. Let's build again really quick. Oh, that's interesting. Even less things broken. Love that. Love less things being broken. Okay, so we've commented out storage unit here. We've got storage.storage unit there. I almost wonder if we can move this make in-memory storage up there, because this is all genericized, right? It's all, this is the thing that we care about because it has config type. As long as it doesn't have config type, we can move it anywhere, because config type is specific to this file, this auth2 client file. But because this lets us use an interface to define what kind of value we're passing in, we should be able to include this down here. Unbound value storage.storage unit. Well, that's not going to be the case anymore, because now it's just going to be storage unit. Okay, so now we're there. We've got this stuff. Now if we come back over here, I think we can also comment this out. Alright, so now we don't have this in here at all. Now we just have this, so we'll need to update our MLI file to let the MLI file know that we are no longer exposing these things, right? So that's this and this, no longer exposing it. Now we're exposing storage.storage unit as the type here, and this is storage.storage unit, because we want the storage module to be completely unreliant on any other module. Maybe utils if it like comes down to it, but we don't ever want storage unit to refer to or need anything from like auth2 client or GitHub client. Right, so now that gives us that. Let's build again. Good. All right, so now GitHub's a little crabby, but that's fine. What? Oh. So now we come back to GitHub. What am I doing? GitHub. Now GitHub has some things, so let's delete all this nonsense, because we are very surely not ever going to be moving the storage unit back into there. This needs to be storage.storage unit, but I think I actually need to update the Dune file here to include it. Actually, do I need this? Wait, hold on. Actually, do I need that? OAuth 2 client. Yeah, you know what? Let's leave that in there for now. I think down the road we want OAuth 2 client. We want GitHub to depend on OAuth 2 client. I think ultimately we're going to want our OIDC implementation, all of our fancy, like, you know, custom implementations, they should all rely on OAuth 2 client, because it's going to have all the generics, and then they're just going to use what's already built there. Because otherwise, if something changes in OAuth 2, heaven forbid, then we'll have to change it everywhere, and we don't want that. That should probably also never happen, but better safe than sorry. So let's grab this. Actually, no, let's just add it. Well, alphabetize. Once you've reached a sufficient number of these libraries, it's always better to just suck it up and turn them into a list format. So then we go storage. Sort those, good. And we do build. Okay. What is this? Auth client 2. Module auth client 2 storage unit with type. Non-module storage unit. Wait, I thought I already updated that. Let's see. Auth client 2. Storage unit. Alright, these are the ones that we're deleting. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and delete them now. I'm feeling confident. Feeling overly confident. Oh. Wait a second, what did I just delete? Storage unit? No. Leave that. Make in memory storage. Oh, this is the old one. I was like, what is this? We commented that one out. That's kind of the danger of just constantly commenting things out, believing you're going to come back to it. You just never do. You don't ever come back to it. That's literally what Git is for. All right. We have moved all storage references out of OAuth Client 2 into its own module. Huzzah. Let's build really quick. Good. Okay. And GitHub's still angry about this unexpected :expected. Okay, so GitHub MLI's got the wrong. Oh, right. I forgot I left that in there. We should go take that out really quick so I don't forget to. I mean, I guess I can't forget to remove it since, you know, it's all angry and stuff, but how did I do this in here? So this looks like this. Default in-memory storage unit with type value config. Yeah. And then these go away. Cool. And then we build again. Alright, we're back to angry things. How angry? How bad is it? Alright, we're back here. Okay. Zabiel Malai. Storage unit does not exist on OAuth 2 client. Correct. Excellent. Good. So then we come back to Savvy. Right here. Oh, we actually need to update Savvy's Dune file. Oh, Savvy's is the... Wait, is it really? Now, where do I do this? Oh, right here. Okay. Yeah, src dune. Let's just go ahead and break this into a list as well. You gotta put this parenthesis on a new line though, because otherwise it's like a in JavaScript where if you don't have the comma on the last one, the get diff always looks funky. We want to do things with a view for the get diff we're going to create later. Because get diffs actually matter. We care about those. Those are going to determine how easy it is to review our code. Not that anyone's doing that, since I'm the only one who builds on this. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We do things right because it's the right thing to do and not because it's necessary. Alright, unbound module auth to storage unit. This is in Savvy MLI. Oh, right. Savvy.mli. Here we are. So this is storage. Storage. Good, love it, excellent, wonderful. Is this even necessary? This might not even be necessary anymore. Make in-memory storage. That's a storage thing, I think. Right? We moved that to storage, didn't we? Make in-memory storage, yes. Yes, it is. Wait, what is this? In-memory storage. What is this module for? Might not need this module anymore either. That might have been one of our errors, I don't remember. Alright. So I think what do I want to do here? Make in-memory storage is in storage. It's a functor. So are these. These are also functors. So maybe I just want to convert this to be one of these guys. And that would be something like module, make in-memory storage. And it's going to look like it's taking a value and it takes some value. That's this whole storage unit type, right? No, it returns a storage unit type. It takes something, I don't know. It takes this vsig. I should have made a type for that instead of just inlining it in the functor. So it's going to have a signature. If we grab this, we're just going to end up in the exact same situation we're in now, aren't we? Yeah, okay. I don't understand the type system yet well enough. I'm pretty sure that this needs to go away though. But it can't entirely go away because Savvy, this is what developers have access to. This is the things they see. Main.ml is pulling everything from this one file. This is sort of like the dictionary for everything that's going on inside Savvy. So we have to do something here. I feel like it needs to look something like this. These are functors. They're taking in something, a storage mechanism, and then they're returning an auth2 client. In this case, we're making memory storage, so we need to take in some kind of a storage unit. I think that's what this is. I think we're taking in a storage unit shaped thing, and we're returning a storage unit shaped thing with value equal to v.value. Kind of feels unnecessary. Like, why are we taking a storage unit to return a storage unit? Maybe I need to reevaluate that. let's get back to what we're doing. Alright, savvy.ml line 3, module type storage unit equals auth2 client storage unit. Wait, no, this is in file error. File error. SavvyML, GitHub ML. Let's go look at SavvyML. Okay, this for sure needs to be this. Oops. GitHub ML. Are we using a storage unit here anywhere? I don't think so. Let's do make in-memory storage. Oh, this is in main. Main is now looking to make in-memory storage. Right. So let's go to main. Okay, so main shouldn't be doing this anymore. Oh, but Savvy needs to expose a way to do this. So maybe I just need to move this into savvy.ml. Or just this part, I guess. Wait, what's this arguing about? Unbound module, make in-memory storage. Okay, this is storage. But it can't, this can't be storage because Savvy's only supposed to know, oh, maybe it has to. Maybe by opening Savvy, I'm getting this. Unbound module, GitHub. Well, that certainly isn't true. I don't really want storage, though. I really want make in memory, but I guess I have to. Maybe I should ask the AI. We'll see. We'll see. Let's do a quick. I don't want to save that file. I created it on accident. Okay. Alright, it's still complaining about unbound module GitHub, which is super lame, but whatever. Oh, we're back to all these weird implementation stuff. Okay, so GitHub does not match interface. Oh, this is why the modules, it's saying unbound module because GitHub failed to build correctly. Module in memory storage required but not provided. Expected declaration. Let's go look at GitHub. So we're doing a bunch of stuff here. We have defaults in memory. If we come up here, we've got that same default in memory up here. We've got our own module type. These should be deleted. Those should not exist. Storage unit. Good. All right, that shortens this up, which is awesome. Love short code. Short code is the best code. Alright, so we come back over here. Wait, what file is this? This is github.ml. Okay. We just got our one default. We write the auth request and token request, use the below values. Okay, cool. I'll remember that. Thanks, past Sam. Oof, still broken. Implementation in Savvy doesn't match the interface. Module. Make in memory storage is required but not provided. Okay, so we're definitely going to have to update Savvy. Default in memory storage looks like that, but I don't know that I actually want that to be the case. If that's the case, maybe I want to do something like module. Let's call it GitHub in memory storage equals GitHub dot default in memory storage. So I can do that. And then here we can have, why is it called this? Isn't this just called, shouldn't it just be called that? GitHub in memory storage. Unbound module, GitHub in memory storage. Really? Why though? Module, GitHub in memory storage. It's being exposed in Savvy. Oh wait, it's not being exposed in Savvy MLI. So now we need, oh, we don't have either of those here. Default in memory storage and GitHub in memory storage. We're not passing these through. I'm almost tempted to just say we get rid of this MLI file. I mean, Savvy ML is already effectively changing everything the way we want anyway, right? Like everything's being mapped in our savvy.ml file. I don't know if hiding things in the MLI doesn't really make sense. Hold one moment, please. All right, some monster truck issues. When I'm not programming, I'm also fixing monster trucks. You didn't know, but here you do. Okay. Do we want an MLI file here? I don't know. We could rename this. Okay, we could try that. And then we could do a do and build. Okay. So now we got a bunch of things going on. Unbound map. All right, let's start at the top. Implementation in GitHub. Type T is required but not provided. Value get is required but not provided. Okay, what is this? This is something for storage in GitHub. GitHub client storage with type value config. New storage make in memory. Oh, that's, at least this is happy now. Which means this should be happy now too, right? If I put a Z on the end, it's gonna say unbound module. Okay, like that, like that. Build that. Alright. Test savvy. Whoops. Our tests are broken. In-memory storage. Ah, I was using this somewhere. Interesting. Okay, so this needs to become auth2 client dot default in memory storage. Oh, did I misspell this? There we go. So use the default in memory storage. I think that will solve that problem. Okay. GitHub is now complaining. It says that I'm giving it something that doesn't match the required interface. I'm getting that in both GitHub and auth 2 clients. That's good. That means it must be the same mistake in 2 places. That's what I'm hoping anyway. We'll find out. In module default in memory storage. In module default in memory storage. Okay. So we got that in a couple of places here and here. Oh, it's mad about this. It's mad about this. Okay. Because because this just has these short things. It needs to go through the functor because the functor adds all the extra stuff. So what is the functor? So right now the functor is this storage make in memory storage. It's going to take, so if we come here, this make in memory storage takes these 2 values. That's all that this thing should need. It's just this very simple signature. We could probably make a module type for this. That way it can make a little more sense. Let's see, module type. Storage kind, I guess. No, storage. What is it? It's got different values and different TTLs. It's not a kind. It's a I want to say brand, storage brand. Unit probably actually made more sense for this instead of the other one. Yeah, you know what? Let's just not name this right now. I don't want to just blow a bunch of our time sitting here watching me fail to think up a name. Let's see. So yeah, so this takes these 2 values and then it returns a storage unit type. So we need to go to here. I think it's this. Default in memory storage. It does not return this with this. That type is wrong. And I pulled that from here, so that explains why they're both wrong. Because they're not. We can delete this too. This doesn't look like this. This is a wrong typing. Default in memory storage is just going to be, it's going to be whatever type. Oh, I guess I actually do need to name that type because that's what needs to go here. Right? Because it's this type. That thing has this type. All right. Module type, storage. Initializer. No, that's way too long. Storage. Yeah, we're doing storage kind. All right. Equals sig. Wait, if I just do sig. No, I like the tab. Sig. Let's grab these 2 here. Here, then we can use this, and we can say storage kind. Okay, so then we come back to github.mli and we can say that this is going to have, actually, what does it look like over here? Default to memory storage. Yeah. Is it just like that? Oh, the colors. Due. Pay your due. Implementation does not match. Functor storage $S1 is not included in functor storage unit. In module GitHub client modules do not match. This does not include storage unit. What? Okay, so if I come here, right? Default in-memory storage looks like this. If I go to the MLI file, default in-memory storage is just going to return that. Am I crazy? Alright. Fix an ask AI. Don't steal my password. Development. Savvy. File was not found. I wasn't opening a file, I was opening a folder. Oh, here, okay. Alright. Let's come to GitHub. So we've got our log right here. Errors in log. I need to figure out. I am pretty sure. Wow, this text is so unbelievably small. Holy cow, I can barely read what I'm typing. Is there a way to like. No idea how to make this bigger. Alright. Sound like Docker was starting up. Noise from hands. Oh yeah. Yeah, my laptop is a System 76 and it's got like 3 different graphics modes, and I think the one I'm in right now is like a hybrid mode, and so it like optionally chooses when it's gonna run the fans, and anytime I open up something like Cursor, it just like goes full bore. Like it sounds like a spaceship taking off. I'm pretty sure it has to do with the typing of default in memory storage that I configured in github.mli. And auth2 client.mli. Let's just see what it thinks. Let me analyze the errors. Looking at the build log, there are 2 main issues. GitHub MLI, you're using storage kind, which only requires type value and valid TTS, but you're not providing the implementation of these. You know, well, why would I provide the implementation in an MLI file? Is that really what I have to do? It seems incredibly unlikely. Gosh, I'm so like, I don't love Cursor. Because it'll sit here and just like tell itself over and over that it thinks it did it right, but there's linter errors, and so it doesn't know what to do. I should have just gone and pasted this into ChatGPT, probably. Just stop. Reject all. Just, no, I don't need you right now. I don't need you. Let's go to ChatGPT. Ooh, actually, let's try Gemini. I'm hearing a lot of good things about Gemini. And as some people may know, I'm actually a seminary student on the side. So I have a student email address, which means that I get Gemini Pro for free for 1 year. So let's try it. Let's see what we can do. Yeah, we've got this. 3. Nope. 4. I'm writing in OCaml app. And I have a module that I want to use as a default value. Its default value to pass to a different storage module. I have this code in my .ml file, but I need to know how to define it in the .mli file. Just a sec, thinking. Okay. Just like that, huh? Let's see if you're right, Gemini. Okay. Well, it's still angry about something over here, but it's angry in a different order now, so that seems like something. The build errors are different. Oh, never mind, it flopped them back. It's just whatever order it does them in. So somewhere I'm using a functor that expects a storage. Looks like this is in GitHub, in the post processor. I still think that's the right. I think that's the right way to define it, though. I think this is right because it uses this. It has these values. It's just a signature. It's a signature. Should this be module type? No, it's a value. Gotta have this value. Let's start a new chat. Let's do this. Let's do let's come here. Let's just see what it's got. Let's see what Gemini's got. I'm writing an auth to client library in OCaml. I've got a new file that I'm writing for a GitHub integration. Here is the github.ml file. Here is the github.ml is the file that leverages this this module, main.ml. This is open source code, so pasting it in here is meaningless, just so everyone's aware. I'm getting a build error. Which looks like it's interesting. I tried out Gemini yesterday. If you've seen the Microsoft's latest Copilot reveal thing, they had a guy go on stage and effectively discover a new liquid cooling solution for servers. Sort of on stage. They did it beforehand because they wanted to do stuff in the lab to like test stuff, but they just used it to create and invent a new like substrate solution that you could just soak or you can bathe servers in to keep them cool, that doesn't use forever chemicals like PFAS. So yesterday I sat down with my wife and we tried to create a kid-safe kitchen cleaner. And I now am in possession of all of the research and chemical information to build our own kitchen cleaner. I have no idea what I'm going to do with this, but maybe one day you'll see my face or my wife's face on store shelves. Or not. I don't know. We'll see. Alright, let's read. I have this build error. Error message indicates a mismatch between the implementation file and the interface for your GitHub client functor. Specifically, the constraint you put on the storage module's value type in your implementation isn't reflected in your interface file. Here's the corrected interface file. I'll explain the changes below. Here's our corrected file. Let's take a peek. What did it do? Type GitHub prompt. Good. GitHub auth config. It's the same. Config. That's the same. This definition for default in-memory storage should match the one in github.ml. Safe kitchen cleaner. You mean vinegar and baking soda? I mean, yeah. Essentially, well, we use we use a lot of what is it? Depending on where it is, if you're in the bathroom, my wife tends to use a mixture she makes with like very, very low grade hydrogen peroxide, like 3% hydrogen peroxide. And then in the kitchen, she uses stuff that's like dish soap and rubbing alcohol. It's like 2 parts rubbing alcohol, 1 part dish soap or something like that. I don't actually know if that's the mixture she uses, but that way it evaporates rather quickly when you use ethyl propyl alcohol. But I really thought it would be interesting to have something that's, one, a little more child safe because ethyl propyl alcohol is very flammable. It doesn't foam at all, and it just requires a ton of elbow grease. We've got like a sauce that dries onto the counter or something, especially if you have like a rough counter. I don't know. I didn't think it through a whole lot. I'm not like planning to sink any time or money into starting my kitchen cleaner empire, but I did think it was interesting. It took several hours for Gemini to come back with the results. At least it felt like several hours. It actually didn't update the page, so I'm not actually entirely sure how long it took, but yeah. Well, key changes here. The functor signature in the ML file must match the ML. Storage unit type like config GitHub client. Oh. With type value equals config. That was what I really needed. I love that it went through and put comments in where comments were not before. Like it didn't change any of these things. It's like schooling me on how I'm gonna have to do my my stuff later. You're gonna have to do a token exchange later here, so you'll need to do that. Yes, thanks. I know that. This is my first rodeo. All right. Ha 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 ho! And just like that, everything is working in that file now. So that means if I just come here and do with type value equals config and do a do and build. Ah, shucks. I thought for sure. Wait, did I actually even do that correctly? auth2 client storage unit with type value equals config. Yeah, why didn't that work? Hold on. I'm kind of wondering what the context size of Gemini is, if I can put in the auth2 client file. It's so big. Well, let's see, how big is it? Oh, it's only 400 plus lines. I could stop at 371. Okay, let's go back to main though really quick. I think this might be my problem up in here. Generic in-memory storage comes from here, which uses this, which uses that. And that comes from Savvy. It has default and it has GitHub. Good, excellent. Let's go read the error again really quick. Clear. Don't do that, please. Implementation in auth2 client does not match the interface. The update is required but not provided. Expected declaration. Okay. Oh. Summary of changes why they're needed. Module, GitHub client storage. Blah. In your GitHub ML file, you define this, your original ML add module, that. I also notice a potential issue in your main.ml that you might encounter next. In main.ml, you have module GitHub in-memory storage equals blah. This looks like a recursive definition. I believe you intended to use the default in-memory storage defined within your GitHub module. No, it just doesn't know about the savvy.ml. I guess we give it what we can. Let's see what we do. Or let's see what it thinks about this other stuff. This was letting go down to 340. Yeah, we'll just give it the whole file. I have a similar build error in my auth2 client.ml file. It looks like this. And the ML and the auth2 client.mli file looks like this. Let's see what it's got. You've got it's very similar to the previous one. The signature auth2 client functor doesn't quite match the actual implementation. Oh, it found some other errors that I hadn't even been interested in checking out. The key change is here. Ah, of course. Nope, stop that, you. It can't be value equals config. It's got to be string config. Oh wait, there was more that I had to do though. Type value equals config to string config. Right here. Oh, it's this that needs to be. This needs to be string star config. And then it's gonna change module auth client 2 to this string to config. Also named the argument storage for clarity though. Underscore would also work if you don't refer to it by name in the signature. I don't refer. You literally looked at the code, bro. I added deriving YoJSON to token auth method and pixie style in the MLI. Why? Why would you do that? It's good practice to keep these aligned if they are in the ML file. Defaults in record types. I removed default annotations from record field types in the MLI. Default values are an implementation detail of the record type and don't belong in the interface definition of the type itself. The deriving YoJSON handler in the ML file will use these defaults during deserialization. Oh. Oh, okay. So I could just take this out. And that would be okay. Excuse me. Doesn't seem like that worked yet. Auth client MLI string config. What are those errors again? Implementation does not match the interface. Is there stuff I need to change in the ML file too? Cool. MLI default memory storage defined with type string config. It's declared as config. This needs to match. Functors defined as module auth2. In client MLI, it's declared as just config. The with type value clause needs to be string config in the MLI as well. Hold on, maybe we just start a new chat. I am writing in OAuth2 client library in OCaml. I have a generic auth2 implementation in my module auth2 client.ml seen here. I have an auth2 client.mli file that looks like this. We're vibe coding, it's happening. OR, vibe coding, security. And when I try to build, I get the following error. Q, tune build. Let's see what it's got. It feels like it's still using something wrong in terms of like maybe in main. Because this is commented out here, and I'm worried that this is my problem. Not that GitHub is the problem, but that I'm not seeing errors in the GitHub one just because it's not actually being leveraged at all. Still looking at this default in-memory storage. Doesn't match the signature. Oh, you know what? I bet I know what it is. That was too far. This guy, right? If I go to auth client MLI, it's still that weird. Yeah, it's still this, which is wrong. If I go to the GitHub MLI, it looks like this. Yep, so let's just grab this, put this here, delete this one, delete all of these. There we go. Now if I do a do and build, shucks. Float end. That is a good new error though. Module client, auth2 client default in memory. Modules do not match. Sig type value equals string star auth2 client config val ttl float and is not included in blah. Okay, understood. Cut that out. So here we're now defining this correctly, I think. And now in main, passing it in here to make in-memory storage is not working correctly because what's coming out of here is not what this wants. What does it want though? Okay, I need a new chat with this guy. That chat, that's all that information is useless now. Let's see, we need to read this error again one more time. Type value. Okay. So GitHub ML, I'm just reducing, I'm using this. Oh, that is my problem. It was my problem. This is probably throwing an error right now too because it's getting the wrong stuff. Okay. So this value, generic in-memory storage, that's being made from make in-memory storage is not coming out with the right stuff. That's this guy's fault. So it's supposed to take a storage kind and it's supposed to return all of these things. Storage, make in memory storage is returning that. So is there an MLI file that's not, is that here? This gets me these. Is that my issue? I need, modules don't match. This is what's being passed in. It's not included in a storage unit type. right? Because that's what this is. This is the storage unit signature. This is the default in-memory storage, or the memory kind configuration. It's got value and TTL, but it's lacking these 3 functions that it's supposed to have. So that means what we're getting here, right? What we're getting here is not right. Because right here is where the error is, right? That's what it's saying. Oh no. Oh, I didn't read. This is in test savvy. Here. auth 2 client needs, it needs this. So generic in-memory storage needs to make this, and then this goes here. Boom! We got it. Everything is working now. All right. Now for step number 6,347,000. Get GitHub working again. Okay, so we have moved storage to its own module today. That has been successful. And now we are going to try and turn on our GitHub stuff again. Not turn it on, but like re-enable the routes that we had set up for GitHub in the past. So that's like, that's down here. So we can take these comments out. Okay, so now we've got GitHub and GitHub callback. All this stuff works. Should work. Good. All right, so now we have to, at some point we're going to have to actually move these bits and bobs over into our demo app, the non-Git one that uses that other HWA. Not right this minute though. Actually, oh, it's 8:40. Okay. We will have to continue this in the future, but we have succeeded in our task of moving storage into its own module. And now we can begin work on GitHub truly and really. Just want to re-familiarize myself with this really quick. GitHub auth config needs a client ID and secret, redirect URI, the scopes, which is probably something like user and repo, login, which has something to do with like, it's like a login hint. It's if there's more than one user, it's going to attempt to use this user first. Allow sign up, that's whether or not you can log in with GitHub only, or if you can sign up too. And then prompt, you can force the account picker to show up on an authorization flow. So this /GitHub route is just going to use GitHub's get authorization URL method, which accepts that config, and then it's going to create sort of a very poor version of the GitHub authenticate button and return that to the screen. And then the user's going to have to click on that, and it's going to take them to that URL that we've built. And then, assuming that they log in correctly, it will then take us back to this GitHub callback, which should just say you did it. Though I don't know if that's actually, we'll have to probably do more there. So our get authorization URL is using that login auth authorize. Okay, so we've got that squared away. We'll need to use the token endpoint still. It does a bunch of matching to check to see if it's got all these things, otherwise it uses the right values, and then it's going to generate the URI. Yeah, and we don't have... I guess I need a client ID and client secret. I'll have to go create, or I'll have to make one of those. All right, we gotta leave it here for now, though. I need to go eat breakfast and go do real work. Work. No camel work, sadly. So I'll leave it here. Until next time. Oh, wait, I'm gonna ban this person first, though. Bye. All right. Well, until next time. I will see you all on the internet.